In the heart of Toombs County, Georgia, lies a town that seems plucked from a holiday postcard, Santa Claus. A place where the streets are named after reindeer and the town hall is a tiny festive cottage. It was here, in this seemingly idyllic, perpetually cheerful setting, that a crime of unimaginable brutality shattered the peace just weeks before Christmas in 1997. The Daniels family, Danny, Kim, and their two young children were not just victims of a random act of violence. They were victims of a betrayal so deep it originated from within their own circle, proving that sometimes, the darkest horrors hide behind the most familiar faces. A quick reminder to comment, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of the Calendar of Crime. We have a lot of fascinating, and sometimes terrifying, cases coming up. Also keep an eye out, we're coming soon to Substack. Danny Daniels, 47, and his wife, Kim, 38, were pillars of their small community. They were known for their generosity, particularly their dedication to children. The couple were licensed foster parents, and their home was a revolving door of love and care for children in need. They had two children of their own, 10-year-old Sydney and 7-year-old Brian. And at the time of the tragedy, they were also caring for 3 foster children. Their life was full, busy, and centered around family, a picture of wholesome small-town American life that made the coming events all the more shocking. The date was December 4th, 1997. In the early hours of the morning, an intruder slipped into the Daniels home. The attack was swift, silent, and merciless. Danny and Kim were shot to death as they slept. Their 2 biological children, Sydney and Brian, were also murdered in their beds. The killer then took the 3 foster children, aged 3, 4, and 5, and drove them to a relative's house in a nearby town, leaving them unharmed but terrified. The sheer cold-blooded efficiency of the crime suggested a killer who was not only prepared but driven by a powerful, personal motive. The crime scene was discovered later that morning, and the news sent a shockwave through the tiny town of Santa Claus. Investigators were immediately faced with a horrific quadruple homicide and a baffling question: why? The initial focus was on the 3 missing foster children, but they were quickly located. Attention then turned to the victims' lives. The fact that the killer had spared the foster children and delivered them to safety was a strange detail that suggested a connection to the family, or at least a specific, targeted motive that did not include the younger children. The investigation quickly zeroed in on a man who was intimately connected to the Daniels family, Jerry Scott Heidler, Kim Daniels' 33-year-old brother. Heidler had a troubled past and a contentious relationship with the family, particularly over money and, critically, the custody of one of the foster children. The Daniels family had been trying to adopt the child, a move that Heidler strongly opposed. This potential motive, a desperate, violent attempt to stop the adoption and possibly settle a financial score, provided the necessary link between the killer and the victims. When questioned, Heidler initially denied involvement, but the evidence mounted quickly. He was found to be in possession of the murder weapon, a .22 caliber rifle, and his story began to unravel. Under pressure, Heidler confessed to the murders. He described the chilling details of entering the home, shooting his sister, her husband, and his niece and nephew as they slept. The confession was a devastating blow to the family and the community, confirming their worst fears. The monster was one of their own. The trial of Jerry Scott Heidler was a highly emotional affair in Toombs County. The prosecution presented a clear case of premeditated murder driven by malice and a desire for control. The jury heard testimony detailing the horrific nature of the crime. In the end, the jury found Heidler guilty on all counts, including 4 counts of murder and 3 counts of kidnapping. They recommended the death penalty for the 4 homicides, a sentence the judge upheld. The verdict brought a measure of closure, but the scars on the town of Santa Claus would remain. The conviction was not the end of the story. Heidler's case entered the long, arduous process of appeals, a legal battle that has continued for decades. His defense team has raised numerous issues, including claims of ineffective assistance of counsel and mental health concerns. The case has reached the highest courts, including the Supreme Court of the United States, as the legal system grapples with the finality of the death sentence. For the surviving family and the community, The appeals process serves as a constant painful reminder of the tragedy. The Daniels family murders remain a dark stain on the history of Santa Claus, Georgia. It is a story of a family dedicated to helping others, whose kindness was repaid with the ultimate act of betrayal by a trusted relative. It serves as a grim reminder that evil does not always wear a stranger's face. The legacy of Danny, Kim, Sydney, and Brian Daniels is one of profound loss, but also a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unspeakable tragedy. Their story is a powerful chapter in the calendar of crime, one that reminds us of the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of unchecked malice. Thanks for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe for future episodes from the Calendar of Crime.